What a terribly managed game by both managers. And what an ending. It is Saturday, May 30th, 2026. We are home in Queens, Flushing, New York, and Citi Field, about to play the middle game versus the Great Marlins. I am the Mets head, talking all things New York Mets, with a preview of Game 60 versus Miami. If you enjoy my content, I ask that you please like and subscribe to the Mets head on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Did you see that Bobby Valentine, threw out the first pitch with his famous sunglasses and mustache disguise? He's supposed to be inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame today, along with Lee Mazzilli. First of all, I very much disagree with putting a left-hand hitter behind Soto. It encourages the opposing team to bring in a left-hand pitcher to neutralize him and the entire middle of our lineup. We don't need to assist the other team in hurting our best hitter. We need to be able to maximize his at-bats, not hinder them. That's why Vientos should be batting fourth. Also, with our left-hand hitters, whoever is batting behind Soto will probably be pinch hit for. And I think if you have a guy in your lineup that you're considering to pinch hit for, then he should not be batting in the middle of our lineup. It was good to see Peralta starting off strong, getting out the first 6 batters in 28 pitches. We got on the board in the first with a Bichette single and a Soto walk, and then a walk to Young to load the bases. Then, for some reason, with 1 out, the Marlins decided to bring the infield in. Instead of trying to get the double play and no runs, they played the infield in, and Ewing got a ball right up the middle, knocking in 2. Ewing stole second, just in time for the 7th train to knock them both in with a single, putting us up 4-0. The Marlins really should have only given up 2 at the most, maybe 1. It was not a smart move by the Marlins manager to take that chance to bring the infield in the first inning. 1 out, you play the infield deep, get the double play. Peralta gave up a leadoff single to start the 3rd inning. You know how that usually ends up. And with 2 outs, Xavier Edwards hit a ball over A.J. Ewing's head in center field to make it 4-1. Swaggy V hit a home run in the bottom of the 3rd to give us back our 4-run lead. And then Peralta came out again in the 4th, giving up a leadoff hit. This time a double to Stowers, followed by another double to Marcy to make it 5-2. We struck back in the bottom of the 4th. Semien led off with a single and an error, put him on second. Torrens, that attempted to bunt, was tagged out by the catcher, who threw it into the outfield, trying to get Semien at third, giving us a 4-run lead again. Peralta then came out for the top of the 5th, again gave up a leadoff hit. Then a ground out moved Mac to second. Another ground out to Vientos on a somewhat difficult play, got the runner out of first, moved him over to third. So with the runner on third and 2 out, Otto Lopez stepped to the plate with the major league leading 340 average. Grounded a ball past Vientos, which they called an error. But myself and the announcers both thought that should have been a hit. And then Peralta gave up a double to Stowers, scoring Lopez from first, making it 6-4. And Mendoza had enough, and I'm glad he did. And again, he doesn't finish 5 innings, Peralta. A.J. Minter was brought in, struck out Marcy, and Brazovan was brought out for the top of the seventh. With one out, he walks Xavier Edwards. Then Hicks hit a slow roller down the third base line, past Beatty, who was playing more in the shortstop position, which kept Edwards from scoring. And then Lopez got a sac fly to bring the Marlins within one. Then in the bottom of the seventh, the Marlins took out Meyer to bring in a left-handed reliever because the next 5 out of 6 hitters are lefties. He struck out Bench. Bichette walked. Soto got a big single to make it first and third. The Mets then chose to pinch it for Jared Young, which is one of the reasons I hate that Jared Young is batting fourth. And I feel the Marlins took the bait and took out their lefty, even though the next two after that were left-hand hitters. What are you afraid of, Eric Wagaman? Let the lefty pitch them so you get him against, so you still have him in against the next two lefties. And they're not going to take out the next two lefties because they're important defensive players. And so Mendoza countered with bringing in Melendez, who got a sacrificed fly to give us a 2-run lead. Then I was confused why Mendoza would then bring out Tobias Myers for the 8th inning. You're up by 2 runs in the 8th inning. Why would you not bring in Weaver? Weaver is your primary setup man. Why would you not bring him in the 8th? Besides the fact, you know how much it annoys me that he keeps using Myers in short relief appearances instead of saving him to start. This is the reason why you got Luke Weaver. Myers gave up a leadoff single, a flyout, and then a 2-run homer by Casey to tie the game at 7. He was then able to get the next two guys to ground out and end the inning with it tied. There's a mistake by Mendoza. First, the lineup, and now wasting Myers again and putting him in a situation he shouldn't be in. Then finally, he brought in Weaver for the 9th. Oh, now it's tied. This is more of the situation for Warren or Myers. I would have said Warren, because Warren has been so great this year. And he gave up a leadoff single to Xavier Edwards. He got Hicks to fly out. Otto hit into a fielder's choice, which was good because Stowers then singled, which only moved Lopez to second, and Marcy flied out. The Marlins pitcher then retired our side in the 9th in order. Now, the game's tied. It's now going to go to extra innings. The Marlins already should have won if it wasn't for the manager making a poor choice to bring the infield in the first inning. Warren was then called in to pitch the top of the 10th, retired the side in order, and then in the bottom of the 10th, with Bichette as the automatic runner at second base, which brought up Juan Soto, who popped up to shallow center on the first pitch. And against the righty, I would have brought in the lefty there. In a tie game, and you got 4 lefties in a row about to bat, with the winning run on second base, you bring in the lefty. Also, did you notice, as the pitch was thrown to Soto, there was a woman behind home plate just sitting down with a drink. Really, you get a drink in the 10th inning? With a winning run on second? And up came MJ Melendez with a 2-run shot to right field to win the game in walk-off fashion. And the Mets win. The Mets win. That was a positive game for Melendez, who had 1-for-1 with a 2-run homer and a sac fly for 3 RBIs. Will Mendy fall in love with him again? But that's good for Melendez. That might keep him up when Polanco comes back. What a game. That's 2 in a row. We are now 24-33. 9 games under 500. Last place in the NL East. 14 and a half games behind Atlanta, who have the best record in the majors. The Marlins are 26-32. 6 games under 500. Fourth place in the NL East. 13 games out of first place. Behind the Braves, and only 1.5 games ahead of us. We could be in fourth place by the end of this weekend. On the mound for the Mets is 26-year-old right-hand pitcher Christian Scott. Originally from Florida, he is 6'4", 215 pounds. Drafted by the Mets in the 5th round in 2021. Kumar Rocker was our 10th pick overall. And he did not sign with us. Jackson Merrill was selected 27th. Mason Miller was 97th, and Hunter Goodman was 109th. The only other year Christian Scott pitched was in 2024. He pitched 9 games, was 0-3 with a 4.56 ERA, 39 strikeouts in 47 innings with 12 walks. This year he's pitched in 6 games. He has no record. He has 3.20 ERA, 30 strikeouts in 25 innings with 14 walks. He last pitched against Miami on May 25th, pitched 5 innings. I think the only time he did pitch 5 innings. He gave up no runs on 4 hits and 2 walks. Batting .231 with a .555 OPS. Got to watch out for Xavier Edwards. He's 3 for 4 against Scott with a double and a walk. On the mound for the Great Marlins is 28-year-old right-hand pitcher Tyler Phillips. Really more of a reliever. He's not started many games in his career. Could be considered an opener. I'm not really sure. But he is from New Jersey. And is 6'5", 225 pounds. He was chosen in the 16th round by the Texas Rangers in 2015. And then spent 9 years in the minor leagues before being brought up by the Phillies. In the 2015 draft, Dansby Swanson was selected first overall by the Diamondbacks. Houston then had 2 picks in the top 5. They took Alex Bregman, number 2, and Kyle Tucker, number 5. And Josh Naylor was selected 12th overall by Miami. We surrendered our first-round pick, which would have been the number 15 pick, to sign Michael Kadire. We would sign him to a 2-year deal, and in 2015, he batted .259 with a .699 OPS and took us to the World Series against the Royals. Then he retired in December. So it was, I don't know about that draft pick. That pick would go to Milwaukee, who took Trent Grisham. This is his 3rd year in the majors. He's pitched in 62 games and started 8 with a 4.09 ERA, 80 strikeouts in 114 innings with 31 walks. That's like a walk every 4th inning. That's really good. Last year for Miami, he pitched in 54 games and started 1. He had a 2.78 ERA, 52 strikeouts, and 77 innings pitched with 24 walks. Man, this guy's good. keeping walks down. This year, he's pitched in 16 games and started one against us. And his second start will be against us. He has a 1.07 ERA, 31 strikeouts, and 33 innings with 18 walks. He last pitched against us on May 24th. It was a game that Devin Williams gave up that first grand slam. Phillips pitched 3 2/3, gave up no runs on 2 hits and 2 walks with 4 strikeouts. I wonder why they took him out. The Mets are batting 160 against him with a 382 OPS. My ideal lineup for the Mets would lead off A.J. Ewing. He is 1 for 2 against Phillips. And his hitting right-handers much better than left-handers. At bat Bichette second. He's 1 for 3 against Phillips. Bat Soto third. And bat Vientos fourth. I do not like moving him down. I understand he's not having a great year. But he really is, according to his stats, our second best right-hand hitter. And he hits lefties much more than he hits righties. So he's great protection for Soto. If you sandwich Soto between Bichette and Vientos, he'll have a little bit more protection. I think Ben should bat fifth. But you could bat him younger. I can see them moving Young up because Young has great numbers this year so far. But after not playing for, 6 weeks, I don't know how good he's going to be. I think Semien should bat sixth, giving good protection to whoever batting fifth. Then Benj or Young batting seventh. And batting down that lineup, it's not really a big deal if you pinch hit for them. I think Young should probably be the DH so you can pinch hit 3 times. I think Beatty should bat eighth at third base, and I think they should give Singer a shot to play because he does have a hit against Phillips, but Torrance does not. I was hoping for a momentum change. Let's take the next 2 and get out of last place for once. I don't know the last time we weren't in last place. I think it was like a week ago for a day. Let's go, Mets go. Let's make it 3 in a row. Until next time, I'm Juan Gan.